we're recording.
We are. How do we start?
I'm so excited.
Has it really been that long?
That's what she said.
Feels like, wow.
No, actually, it doesn't.
She's never said that
She's
to
never
me.
said
No,
that.
I don't ever do. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Midnight Movie Distillery. I'm one of your hosts, Logan Lynch.
I'm another one of your hosts, Warwick Price.
And I'm another host, Lon Black.
Woo! What are we doing today? What are we doing today?
I'm so excited just to be doing episodes.
Oh, God.
I know.
I don't know.
Feels like
I almost
forever.
don't care what we're watching.
It's got nothing to do with the fact that this Wednesday is the last episode we have in the can.
No, we don't. They don't know that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
They don't know
Forget I just said that.
Yeah.
that we're scrambling.
Delete. Shift to delete. All right.
Okay,
It's only because we care.
so
We are doing some movies and bourbon, aren't we?
We
are.
are. But what the hell movie are we watching today? Or did we watch for this one?
Yes.
yes. So this episode is
Christ.
going to be for the monkey.
Monkey Shines?
No.
Oh, no.
Wow.
No, just the monkey.
Nice little reference.
Wow.
So this is obviously 2025. Hopefully, if you're watching this or listening to this in 2025, it's probably just came out.
Yeah.
So, as you know, because you're a regular listener, viewer,
Like, comment, subscribe.
we like to pair our movies with alcoholic beverages. And this man over here is the guy in charge of that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
He's got one on the ready. Can
So-
we try to guess it?
Oh, absolutely.
Are we going to guess the...
How are you going to guess
Guess?
out of the billions of whiskeys it can be, or alcohol?
I have a hunch.
Is this like
Really? No matter
20,
what
20
you're-
questions? Like,
No, we can just guess. If you just think what.
If you guess it, I would absolutely be amazed and think you cheated somehow.
Oh, okay.
is it going to be like monkey paw or...
I was gonna say monkey shoulder.
Okay, so little thing you don't know about me, I don't like monkey shoulder.
Figured you wouldn't, but I thought maybe
Yeah.
you would take one for the team. But
No. So here's the other dilemma with this whole thing is, I get whiskeys when I see them. I go shopping. I talk to people that are in there, and I have my own whiskey guy at Binny that I go talk to, and I said, "What is this?" And just buy a couple bottles. I have no idea what movies we're gonna watch until I've already bought bottles.
Okay.
So I'm going to retrofit some of these.
Sure.
In fact, for Monkey, I've got a good one that can kind of relate to it. But the next movie, I'm not even going to try. Just going to say, look, I got this whiskey. Shut up and drink it.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go for it. What do we got?
So in this one, I guess a little pretense here. Yeah. I need a little time.
I guess I'll have water.
Enough with the edging here. Let's go.
I mentioned to Warwick earlier, because he was on time, I mentioned to him
Jesus, I'm never gonna live that down.
that I'm going to need a little time to explain this one because this one's got gossip surrounding it. This one's kind of an
Ooh.
interesting one.
Okay.
But I'll start with this.
So is this like a Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds?
It's similar in context,
Oh.
but in the whiskey world.
Oh.
Okay? So now, just put it, these are two brothers who are estranged. Family members started something together and separated, went their own ways, right?
Interesting.
In the Monkey.
Culkins.
So, are you guys familiar with Whistle Pig?
Yes. This is pig whistle?
This.
No. So the guy who
Bacon
started
blower?
Whistle Pig, the guy who founded Whistle Pig,
Yep.
I'll give you his name and details later, but just know that he was kicked off out of the company that he founded by the rest of the board of directors or partners or whatever, kicked him out for various reasons that I'll go over, and then he finally, and lawsuits, there were court cases because of wrongdoings he allegedly did,
Interesting.
and finally parted ways. He went out and started his own company again
Okay.
after Whistle Pig called Hogsworth.
No.
Nice.
Okay.
So Hogsworth is the Whistle Pig founder's new company, and he even teases it on the back of his bottles. I created Whistle Pig whiskey, sold it. Not he was forced to.
Allegedly.
And severed all ties because he had to.
Allegedly.
But I remain fond of pigs. it's not named after pigs. It wasn't because of pigs, but I'll go into that too. My work felt incomplete, and American whiskey needed a shakeup. So I present Hogsworth, the finest bottle you'll find, at even 10 times the price. This has got, and he puts the mash bill on the back.
Oh wow.
He's got 10% of a 4-year bourbon, 42% of a 4.5-year bourbon from Tennessee, and 21% of a 13-year Armagnac
Oh, wow.
from France,
Interesting.
22% of an 11-year Armagnac from France.
I think it's Armagnac.
Armagnac?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's cognac, basically.
Yeah.
And 5% of a 41-year
Damn.
Interesting.
Armagnac.
Well, I love the color.
Yeah.
It's super dark, but I don't know if he adds anything. He doesn't say it's a straight bourbon whiskey. He doesn't say these are pulled straight bourbon whiskey, so it could be
That is
fake.
very dark.
But that's that. The story goes, he was caught drunk driving a few times, allegedly. Well, I shouldn't even say allegedly. He was actually convicted. I already got it. It's just a little fingernail kind of thing. But thanks for threatening me. I appreciate it.
I will cut you.
I just want to drink.
He traded to his, I think, assistant at the time, a bunch of shares from the stock. Now, mind you, this stock went from 0 to worth over 10 million in like a couple years.
Wow.
So it's a skyrocketing thing. But he gave shares on the DL to this woman who became his wife, oddly enough, which they said the board was never told about these shares that he gave her. So it was all there were lawsuits. It was
Yeah. Sounds good.
it was ugly. Wow. So when you take a rye whiskey, and, no, it's not rye whiskey. I'm sorry. There's no rye in this. It's got bourbon and Armagnac. So
You can smell the cognac.
oh,
in
you
it.
can smell that. So
Oh yeah. I'm a fan of the smell.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
yeah. So actually, Armagnac is more of a brandy, not a
Okay.
cognac. A brandy.
Those
And
French
brandies
people.
are more on the sweet side, of course. So, here, let's just pour it and taste it while we talk,
with the teas.
right? Because it is like,
Look at that pour. Interesting. Okay.
so, it's a little different than what we've normally done.
Yeah.
But Whistle Pig got its name, and I actually had to confirm. I saw in an interview where he got it. He names they named the flutes, the distiller, why am I going blank on the freaking name? I'm so excited about telling the
actual
story that I'm missing
tin-
out.
or
The copper stills and
Copper
whatnot.
stills.
After pigs on the farm, because that was the whole thing. He made barrels with wood that was allegedly on the farm. He made the mash
Right
from
in there.
corn that was already, wow.
I-
Red lights were blinking all
No,
over.
I muted it.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Did you
Look at you,
unmute it?
high tech.
You don't
we
wanna
have,
go
we
live
have new
out.
mics.
We have new mics.
Yeah, we're trying them out.
Hopefully they don't sound like shit.
But the real story goes that when he was looking for a name and he wanted to start this bourbon company, he came across this French hiker when he was in, I can't remember where he said he was
France?
at.
Did she get mad?
No, but he was, huh?
Did she get mad?
No, it was a he and,
Came across.
there
it is. Jeez. Joke's not funny if you have to explain it.
that he was telling him to watch out for the prairie dogs, and the French guy was calling prairie dogs whistle pigs. He said, watch out for the whistle pigs. And he just thought, what the hell is that? And he thought there's some sort of translation. Because you look at this guy, and he's got an incredibly Indian name, but he looks like a
Average Joe.
average Joe and sounds like an
Wow.
average Joe, but he's of Indian descent. This is the guy right here. Let me see if I can.
Oh, wow.
No, that's not him. That's him. Oh, of course.
Oh,
Never
we
mind.
got-
I won't
I'd say
do that to us.
that's an ad for a chair.
yeah.
Is he behind the
He is
chair?
behind
Is
the
that
chair.
an advertisement to you, though?
I
Sad.
had practiced the story so much, and I just butchered the
No, it's
hell out of
good.
the
You were good up
story.
until
It was very informative.
Yes.
It,
Sorry, a little bit of silence, Sid.
Yes.
So-
No, you go. You guys go ahead.
No.
I'll keep everybody entertained. Be back. soon.
Wow.
What's the proof on this?
That's a good question.
So it's, well, I mean, we'll do it. Needs to do a vote first.
Oh
drink,
yeah, we
drink,
should.
drink, drink.
Oh, should we do? I got one down.
Oh, I'm 3 in
So
already.
it's your basic 46.9% alcohol. So that's not bad. But I love the average age, 9.4 years.
Yes.
We look like 94 years.
I did. I thought there was 94 as well.
Small point in there.
So would that looks like an AI created pig on the front?
Could be. I don't think he has a ton of employees right now.
Yeah.
Kind
Could
of
be
looks
wrong
like
about
what's the from Dukes of Hazzard?
Boss hog.
Boss Hog. Maybe that's his intention.
Yes, maybe.
So
Yeah, I mean, you can. Yeah. Sorry. Are we talking
that's
about
him.
it first? or are we-
Yeah. I just wanted to put him up there.
Do
His
you want me to
name
switch over?
is Raj Bhakta. Raj Bhakta. But
Wasn't
you
that one
know,
of the characters in Star Wars?
you you wouldn't tell. He makes fun of his very Indian sounding father a lot in this interview because it's
So
Just
obviously
a thing,
Indian
but-
father and American mother.
it could be. I don't know that part, but
Nice research, Newman.
yeah,
Way to go.
I was researching the gossip because there were so many court cases and he did so many things that were like allegedly he did so many things that were illegal that they basically said, look, we either take you to court, drag you through the mud, or you let us buy you out, you'll be a millionaire, and we're going to take over the company. And he said, well, as he admitted, he says, my pride wouldn't let me do that. He said, so he said, fuck you, I'm going to fight this whole thing. And he lost miserably. So
He fucked around and found out.
he took it.
And somehow in whatever settlement there wasn't a proviso that you can't go around and start another.
Well, he could, but it's not a rye whiskey.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was
So
gonna
it
say, it's
depends on
probably-
what those stipulations
Sure,
are.
sure.
And the thing is, he did sort of, he said he sold his company. At the point of the lawsuits, he had to sell his company. So
Sure.
by selling it means, I guess, that, maybe there's not a non-compete. And
Yeah.
at this point, Whistle Pig is so big and so huge.
Yeah.
Till
What's he gonna
Hogsworth
do?
comes after him.
Maybe.
Okay.
So I think we should do some barrel.
Yes.
I think I'm already 5 in.
Jesus.
I am 3, at least.
Okay.
And we said the smaller number goes on the right. Am I wrong?
No,
You were so wrong on
you're
that.
so wrong. Okay, I'm doing a want for.
I am also
Had to
going to
cheat.
do a 1 for.
Okay.
I'm gonna fuck this up. I know it.
You going to do 2?
Yeah, I realized what we really should do is write the numbers on the back of the card.
So you can see it?
No, not so that we can see it.
Oh.
So that he can see it.
It's gotta be big letters, numbers.
Because we tend. I'm not saying that we've never done it imperfectly, but
I don't think we've actually ever fucked it up.
I think
don't think
I
we
think I
have.
have at least
I
once.
always
maybe.
fuck it up.
I think,
It's
yeah.
fun that way.
Okay.
1,
2.
3.
See, I did want to do that. I feel bad because I did want to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I know I've already seen yours, and that's not the way it should be.
So Logan chose a 3.5.
Warwick chose a 4.
I chose a 3.5. I got a little nervous
you're
when
lucky
down to
that
3,
people
but I'm
that are listening to this
I'm going
won't
to stick
see
to a
that.
3.5. Yeah, as I just explained that. Yeah. Well, Mr. Wick, you're the odd man out on that one.
Go for it.
And I'm here to tell you this might be one of the highest ones I've rated.
It
think it is.
could be. It could be.
I think this is freaking excellent.
It is very awesome.
I mean, it's and what's really funny is it does have that kind of cognac-y, armagnac, brandy kind of like warmth to it.
Yep.
But it has a really good flavor, and that warmth like dissipates very quickly. And it is warmth, not burn.
Right?
Yes, agreed on that one.
It's very smooth, like
Yes.
like virtually no aftertaste.
Right.
Damn, I think this is excellent.
Yeah.
I am quite.
Mr. Lynch.
I am a fan. I gave it a 3.5 only because I'm very picky with 4s and above. It's got to be something. But this was actually really good. Like, I was very pleased by this.
Yeah.
I feel like this could be. So that brings up one of my questions, price wise.
Yes.
Do we want to try and guess that was? Because that's going to play a role in it. I got a feeling I have an idea of how much this costs.
So I'm going to say $79.95.
Right on where I was heading.
Well, I already said it, so you can't say the same number.
I was going to go 75.
Okay.
We'll keep talking while we're looking
Okay.
it up.
And,
She's slow.
and I think really it's number one. So this is the first thing he's come out with.
Correct.
As Hogsworth.
Correct.
So I think, the reason I did $80 is basically, he has a name behind him. Mm-hmm. He has a reputation behind him.
But it's a tainted name, giggity.
Pun intended.
Name.
But not tainted because of the quality of his product.
Correct.
So people look around that.
As long as his love juice isn't in the bottle, I think we'd be okay.
Love juice,
No, that's
baby,
what-
love.
That's
saltiness. That's the aftertaste that I was
There's
saying.
a little bit of a salty clumpiness.
Going down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
I just thought that was a worm. Maybe it was just like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them. Sorry, people. But no, it was $80 to me is like number one is, as I've been wrong before for picking a price way too low. Like to me, that seems like a price that someone new to the market that has a bit of a name, that has an existing product that's very well respected. That's what it would come out as. $80.
Okay.
And I said 75.
75. So you guys are both right around the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So the only thing is, it was displayed on a side shelf, meaning the regular shelf with the bourbons, not alongside
so it's a
all
little
the
more.
Whistle Pigs. It was on the top shelf, and usually they put the better stuff top shelf, lower shelf, is the Zachariah Harris.
Top shelf? Is that correct?
But when somebody looks at this, they're not going to figure that out right away.
Yep.
So I looked at it and thought, I go through all these bottles, and nobody told me about this before I got it. But when I picked it up and I'm like looking on the back for what it's got, I'm like looking at it going, what is Armagnac? It's got all this Armagnac in it. So is it really even a bourbon? And then I looked at the back and it says, I started Whistle Pig. And then I thought, okay, now I've got to get it. I don't think everybody does that. They're not going to pick it up thinking, I don't know how many people did the research and know that there's this brand out there even.
No, I get it. And I will say, the label,
Yeah, not an awesome label.
not a great label, but it also is, to me, is reminiscent of the bygone era of VHS tapes, where often you'd look at the front of the VHS tape and it would have this like interesting, because it may not be great, but it's interesting.
Right.
But then when you watch the movie, it was like a piece of crap, and they put all their money into the artwork for the
So it kind
VHS
of
tape.
reminds me
Sure,
of Motel Hell.
sure. Oh, because
No.
the pig and the chainsaw.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I thought you meant
cop.
because it's a bad movie.
Well, that too.
No, because but in that one, the pig guy, the farmer wearing the pig mask was fighting the cop. This
Correct.
one, they're both in one.
There you go.
Yeah, but they were in cahoots initially.
Pun
Well,
intended.
they're brothers, so they kind of have to be. But
Anyway,
Sidetrack.
price.
so my only complaint with it
Oh.
is that I don't know if I consider this a whiskey. Not a whiskey. I don't think I consider this a bourbon. It's got 2 bourbons in it, but it's got way more cognac. Or I'm sorry, I keep saying
Armagnac.
cognac.
Armagnac.
Armagnac, which is more like brandy. It's got way more brandy than just about anything else. And I shouldn't say way more. I see now that they do have a 4.5-year Tennessee bourbon of 42% of that. So that about equals out. So actually it about equals out. Half bourbon, half. Okay, so I take that back. I think it's half and half is okay. If it was more brandy than bourbon,
That's bad.
because this is brandy then. I mean, it tastes more like a brandy
It definitely has.
than a bourbon.
It does, but I think also the bourbon side of it is what kind of tones down. I think this is a great blend.
Turns
Yes.
on the sweet
Yes.
Yes.
from brandy.
Yep.
You never
I
asked
agree.
how much it is.
Oh, right. You guys guessed $80, $75. $45.
Really?
Wow.
$45.
Not on sale or
Not
anything?
on sale or anything.
Yeah, so
$45.
he's starting out low.
Wow.
That's why he puts it on the back about being for 4 times the price. It's better than you get at 4 times
But I
the
do,
price.
and I do think that's an interesting play then, right? So in other words, so obviously, so his bourbon is probably the 4-year one then, right?
Well, none of this is his bourbon. He no longer has any bourbon.
Oh, so this is all, he's just
sourced
blending everything.
all of this stuff. In fact, what he was talking about it, because I saw the interview where he talks about what he did with this one. And he was going through all these different places in Europe and France, and anybody who was like storing this stuff for decades thinking it was value, and he talked them way down and bought it for like pennies on the dollar and just started stockpiling this stuff. Hired a master distiller to come and help him blend it, because he's not a blend guy. He knows his whiskey, right? But he's not a connoisseur. I don't know the right word for it. But he hired somebody else to do the blend for him.
Okay.
Out of all the stuff he's sourced from all over the place for the past 2-3 years.
That's with him, right? And so isn't the master distiller really the genius in this whole thing?
For the flavor profile, yeah. I think the guy who started this is the money behind it.
Sure.
And he might be the inspiration behind it. It's like he's the one, I've come up with something that's got a lot of bourbon and brandy and, whatever.
Sure.
Maybe throw some rye in there. He might do that to the guy, but the guy, the master distiller, the blender guy is the one who came up with the recipe, I think.
Well,
he may have had a hand in
it. Cheers to you.
He may have had a hand in it, but...
This is a weird one. I mean, I get what you're saying about the fact that, it's almost more Armagnac than it is bourbon.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know, like somehow that combination just really works for me.
I agree, because it's got a little bit of sweetness, more
Not
full,
over sweet either.
more robust flavor, richer flavor.
Yeah.
A little creamier because of that, but it's I like it.
It's that.
I like it.
That's what got him in trouble.
It's that jizz again.
Yeah. All right.
So next up, we also watched a movie.
Yeah, we did.
The
Yeah, we did.
Minky.
The Minky.
The Minky.
Minge?
No, not Minge.
No.
So the Monkey. How many Osgood Perkins movies have we reviewed?
Well, this is the second one.
Yeah, this is
I guess
Go.
it's only the second, right?
Yeah.
No, technically we did do. Well, it wasn't his movie though, but we did Dead and Breakfast.
Legal.
But he was
Oh,
in
he
that.
was in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he wrote part of it, but
Just
still.
Legally Blonde, but I don't remember us.
But anyway,
Legally Blonde. Oh my God.
he was in it. Oh wow.
But Oz Perkins, the famous son, or the son of the famous
Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins.
Tony.
Tony.
Tony to his friends.
Tony. Anyway,
Oh, to his
Osgood
friends.
Perkins wrote and directed this, and it was I would say it was somewhat highly anticipated, coming off of the back of Long Legs and oh my God, what was the one before that?
Skinamarink? I'm just kidding.
No,
No.
God, no.
He's had a couple of ones that were fairly popular, except for this guy. And so like I was really looking forward to the Monkey. So anyway, so obviously I don't want to talk too much because we have to do our
We got to do our barrel rating after this.
but it has Theo James in it, putting on a pretty bad American accent, if I do say so. He's an English guy. He's in this awesome TV show called The Gentleman, Guy Ritchie TV show.
Oh.
Really good.
Who you said had a bad accent?
Theo James. He was the lead.
The lead.
Really?
Yeah, I thought his American accent was dreadful. And Tatiana Maslany's in it as well.
Yeah.
Who's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so do we want to give it?
Let's rate it.
Let's do some ratings.
Okay. Okay.
It's easy.
Okay. I think I might do a twofer.
I'm debating on that myself.
Okay. This is an interesting one.
Excuse me. Hopefully the mic didn't pick that up.
Oh, you're doing a twofer also?
I'm doing
do,
twofer.
sir.
I'm gonna.
I'm only doing it just to enforce him to do a twofer, and that way we can laugh when he gets the numbers wrong.
If I get both of these right, happy as a clam.
Happy as
I'm
a pig in
debating on
shit.
this.
Yeah, I'll be a
I think
Hogsworth.
I'm gonna just commit to this.
I did just double check.
1.
2.
3.
What do you got there, Logan?
3.5.
3.4.
3.5.
Wow, look at that.
I thought for sure Logan was gonna hate it.
I did too.
Oh, I thought for sure he was gonna hate it.
I went into this with very, very low hopes.
And explain
possible.
why. Because you hated...
Well, so low hopes and high hopes at the same time, I guess,
Wow.
right?
I
had low hopes because it was more like, okay, this is just probably a quick money grab for, Oz Perkins. They're using the name. It's just going to be a big thing. Because, Long Legs, which was a dreadful movie.
Which I loved, by the way.
Yeah. So
gives you an idea who the talent is. So I had high hopes that it would redeem Oz Perkins for the mistake of Long Legs, and I believe he did that. I was very happy with it. This was a very fun movie. I watched this with my daughter, and she was, laughing, and we were having a good time. It was actually a very gross, but I felt it was I think this is Oz Perkins' perfect zone, if we'll say. So it had the good comedy, it had good, wittiness about it, and I was a big fan of the fact that the kills were good. You didn't have to see all the kills. I mean, I loved how everything just disintegrated every time somebody was annihilated, so to speak. It was definitely a fun film, and I would definitely watch it again.
To me, like, this falls into, this to me is in the same vein as Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Okay.
In terms of, like, it
Silly splatter.
definitely had gore, but the gore was generally so funny that it's like, you couldn't. I don't know that anyone would really come out of this movie being scared.
Oh, well, no.
In other words,
not that kind of horror.
it's not this kind of, but it was like, it was really gory. I mean, like, some of it was just like, my favorite kill was definitely the uncle that got trampled by the horses,
yeah.
and then
poured him out,
and then when he opened up the shirt, it just went.
Yeah,
Like,
sleeping bag.
it was just, it was sleeping bag. Yeah, it was just so. So over the top, ridiculous.
I laughed so hard at that part because I was like, "That's pretty good." Because you don't, like I said, they show a little bit of the trampling, and then they just show the mush that they're pouring out.
It was so good.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
It was awesome.
All right, so I agree with everything you said there. I just want to point out that when I first watched this several days ago, I absolutely hated it. I was pissed off and I was mad because. The first thing as the movie starts, they're like, "That's not true. That can't be. That's stupid. That's silly that they're doing that." Hold on. There's no way somebody would do that. It would be like, wait a minute. This is ridiculous. They're not even following reality. Hold on. The uncle wouldn't be wearing that. The music was from the 50s, but he says we're in the 99. We're 99, but the music they play is from the 50s. The clothes they're wearing is from the 70s. What the fuck is going on? And then literally after there, it's because Amy and my wife and I were bitching back and forth about the whole thing. And then I just said, you know what? I must have been in a bad mood tonight because it's not supposed to be taken seriously.
Correct.
None of this stuff the whole thing is a joke. I says, I need to watch this again because obviously I'm in a bad mood. I need to watch it again without that. And I did just last night, watched it again. I'm like, all right, this movie's semi-genius.
It's phenomenal. It's like Final Destination.
Yes.
I'm trying to work out like mixed in with what, I don't know, but just
like Tucker and Dale, like you said.
Like Tucker and Dale. I mean, just it's like I loved how ridiculous the kills were.
Yep.
Like, and I loved the other. Yeah, I love the fact that it's like the monkey is so like menacing. And
was pretty creepy.
And that was the very creepiest part of the movie.
And the point is it's like he had no rules. Like, I love the fact that Bill, like the other brother, is like, oh, it doesn't kill the person who turns the key.
Yeah.
No, not true.
Yeah.
As you find out at the very end, spoilers. I love the way Bill died. It was just freaking awesome. Lois.
Yes, that the reference to us. My daughter caught that one and started laughing. She was, oh, that's her mom.
But just it's like, and in any other movie, that could have been taken as like sadistic and like just gone in a totally different direction. But like I think this was done in such an amazing way. Like even like the very, very end scene where they're at the stoplight in the car and
with the cheerleaders.
With the cheerleaders in the truck going by.
Even that, because I got pissed off the first time when they brought the stepmom or whatever. She ran out of the house with her head on fire, impaled herself.
The aunt. That was the aunt.
And then when they're bringing out the body and stuff like that, there's cheerleaders out on the street cheering and stuff. And the first time I saw it, I'm like, that would never happen. And then the second time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's why it's funny. That would never happen. That's hilarious. And then they got their comeuppance at the end of the movie anyway. So.
Yes.
Ross, just
I will say, I didn't quite get the guy on the horse.
Okay.
Was that supposed to be just death?
I took that as death.
Yeah, so that's one of the 4 horses of the apocalypse.
Right.
One of them is a pale horse with a pale rider.
Yep.
And so that's supposed to
death.
signify death.
That's okay, and that's what I assumed. It was.
And he kind of gives them a nod, like, you know what you're supposed to do now. Like, that's how I kind of took it. Like he was kind of letting him know, like, when because he just finished telling his son, like, we have to watch this thing, we have to make sure, and then Death's kind of like, yep, you got it.
Yep.
Because the other thing, so did we kind of confirm that Bill was winding it up, and therefore the semi random kills weren't really random at all?
Correct. Yes.
You know, like the guy with the mower. Like, was that just someone that pissed Bill off?
No. So I think it was killing everyone in the town where he was from.
I think it was, in a way though, I think that was random kills. Because I think what the monkey was trying to do was to show him, like, you don't control me. You don't tell me who I get to kill.
Correct.
You turn it, you want him killed, he's dead.
Yeah.
You want her to guy, that guy's next.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and the perfect case of that was
people that made no
Hal,
sense.
Because of course he wanted his brother dead.
Correct.
And it killed his
mom. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But even that, because even Bill ended up dying because he's not the one who turned the key for that one, and we, like we learned, it's not necessarily who turns the key or not.
Right.
But he still at that time thought it was.
Yep.
But then he didn't turn the key.
Right.
He let his nephew turn the key.
So, but here's the thing, Bill
Or forced his nephew to.
Bill says he went back down and grabbed the key.
Yep.
Well, because the monkey was gone.
But,
he went to
but that's
get the
what I mean.
monkey,
So if he had never gone and gotten the key,
Oh,
even
the
if the
monkey
monkey
would've
showed
gotten it
up, would it have had the key with
I
it?
think so, sure.
Okay.
I think that was just a little thing since,
Like it
you're
figured-
going to come after me to pick me up and control me. I'll let you the key, but then I'm not going to show
Still
up for
gotta
another
find
10
me.
years,
25
25
years,
years.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and even that, showing up in a fortune cookie
Yeah.
and then showing up on the top of the TVs and stuff. Yeah, hi. Yeah, it was silly, stupid, ludicrous, and very fun.
because it is funny. So like to your point of like having to dispel reality, there was even, I watched it last night or this morning, I can't remember, and I'm like, you know what? With so many deaths associated with the same family,
Yeah.
pretty sure the police would probably get involved with that.
There'd be a little bit more discussions.
In fact, I don't think that we even saw the police ever there.
Oh yeah, the police were there a couple times. Well, unless you count the fake cop, which was a kid with the long hair,
yes.
who he thought
The Joey Ramone guy?
That's the Joey Ramone guy who thought, yeah, that could be a cop.
Yeah.
He looks legit.
Look up, it's the motherfucking cops. Whoever he
No,
says.
and the best part is when Helen here in the car, and he goes, "You're not a cop, right?" And I'm like, "No shit."
He goes, of course not, I hate cops.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a hoot. It was definitely a fun film. I would recommend it. It did make up for Long Legs.
I think if you look at this movie the way you're looking at it now, go back and watch Long Legs. Because Long Legs is also silly, ridiculous, and kind of over
But
the
it was
top with
no,
that.
but I felt like it was serious. It was meant to be serious.
To
a point, I agree with, but
I liked Long Legs,
Yeah.
but I do agree with Eric in terms of I don't think that was supposed to be silly and funny. I think
it was ridiculous. It was supposed to be ridiculous
Wait,
in a
Long
fun way.
Legs?
I like
Long Legs we talking
Long
about?
Legs.
Yeah.
Long Legs.
I don't think so. It's like other than the Long Legs character himself.
Yes.
He was
like
ludicrous.
I think he was ludicrous and ridiculous, but like the whole FBI woman, it's like, you know, she was legitimately trying to find the killer, and her story arc with her mother was serious.
Yeah.
And I think the whole and that's the other thing I thought was interesting is I've noticed Oz Perkins puts a lot of like religious stuff in there. So like it was kind of the devil stuff for for Longlegs, and then this stuff, it's kind of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And, I feel like, I wonder if he's just trying to mix in a few things there. Who was the executive producer, James Wan, on this one, I think?
I don't have the
I believe
I've
so.
got it
But
on my
I
cheat sheet.
I felt like there was some stuff in there that felt Wani. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
don't
shotgun
have that
kill
listed,
was
but-
rather amusing, but the pool was still. My daughter even.
Oh my
goes-
God.
My daughter goes, I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
No.
Well, also, I don't think that actually would happen.
No, that would have to be some electrical charge.
You would literally. I would get that she gets electrocuted, but not to the point where you
Instant
explode.
explosion. Yeah. No.
There were a ton of producers on this one. Holy
I thought it said one of the producers.
James
Wan
Wan.
is one of them.
Yeah, he's a producer.
Not an executive, regular producer.
Yeah, so-
Standard.
So he actually did work.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference.
As I say, yeah,
Right,
executive means
executives
you
are
just
money.
give money.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, good.
All right.
Anything else we want to say about this? I have my little cheat sheet here. The only thing I have down here, I didn't do any trivia.
I did a trivia.
You did?
I've
But
got-
was-
You did trivia?
I did one, just one. Actually, a couple, but let's see. If
So
I have my
had
notes here.
hopefully yours wasn't related to revenue, right?
To revenue? No.
No. So $10 million budget. To date, it's made basically $64 million.
That was only a $10 million budget?
Yeah.
Which makes it even better.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, again,
agree.
tells you that, because again, when you think about it, it's like, there wasn't a lot of outside scenes.
Oh, I hated Elijah Wood in this, by the way.
Well,
I think
but
it's
he was
I,
supposed to.
intentionally, I think they were
He
intending
was
to.
Yeah.
intentionally that dweeby.
Let's arm wrestle.
Right. Because I just love the fact that it's like, yeah, I'm a parenting coach.
Right.
I think
I win.
I would win.
Can't I?
You know.
Can't I?
You.
But that is another.
Frodo, go fuck yourself.
No.
Sorry.
That is the other question I did have initially the first time I watched it. So I agree with what you were saying as well in terms of I did enjoy it the first time, but the whole thing of if he's so afraid of family and so afraid of relationships, how did he end up with a woman married to a cute woman and
Had a kid.
and produce a kid?
Yep, I know. I agree. There's a lot of plot holes, but I think the whole point of this movie is that there was no plot to stand of any, because that was so mixed up. You couldn't really, even though he said it was 1999, there was nothing in that about any of those scenes that was said 1990s at all.
Right.
Right. It was 50s, 70s. It was mixed up, and I think that's the whole point. Is he wasn't trying to be anything. He was just trying to just mash it up, and here's a story at you.
Yeah, I feel like he did say though that the son was an accident.
Well, yeah,
so
but
it's like
how many kids
maybe
do we have that's not an accident? I mean, all
Right.
of my kids are accidents.
Like, and also there's accidents and accidents, right? In other words, it's like accidents in terms of like you would never, it's subsequently been it's a mistake.
Well,
it was an accident.
It was planned, but not a mistake.
Right.
Yes. Right.
Right.
As he said,
Yes.
you were an accident, but you weren't a mistake.
Right. Anyway, trivia
okay.
me.
Trivia.
Did you want to ask yours?
No, I didn't really have. Mine was just simply the budget and
budget.
and the
Okay.
revenue. That was it.
Okay.
Nothing more.
So in the beginning of the film,
7.
it's the very beginning with Adam Scott.
Yep.
the Scene. There's a sign in the background, and it says bartering is strictly what?
Suggested,
Forbidden.
appreciated.
Verboten.
Verboten.
I thought that was funny. I'm like, okay, you're in a pawn shop and you're telling people they can't barter with you. So
Well, and the other thing I did think was funny in that scene was the fact that, okay, again, you're a pawn shop. Why would you have a sign saying no kids' toys?
Right. Right. You can't return.
No kids return
returns.
toys, yeah.
No
Because-
returns on kids' toys.
But in this situation, it's not like he bought the monkey
Right.
there.
Right.
So he's not returning it there.
He's repawning it. To you.
Yes.
Yeah.
okay.
I thought so. I thought that was a good one too.
Did
you got
anybody?
more?
Yeah. Did anybody catch the slogan for Casco or Costco, however you pronounce the town?
Oh yes. Yes. Home of its inhabitants.
Close. He's thinking.
Oh my God, I can see the sign.
Yeah, it's got to be that. It's some real
that, but
real
it's
close.
different.
I've got it.
different
I just
language.
missed a word.
Go for it.
Birthplace of its locals.
Birthplace of its locals. There you go. That's what it is. Birthplace. of
Okay,
its
and the old infamous, what was the license plate
I knew
of
Of Hal's car.
Hal and his son's car as they're driving away in the very last scene?
Do you know what it was?
Yeah, I have it. But No? Okay.
It's a Mercury Sable, though, right?
2996 UH.
You know, I swear to God. My wife says, you're going to mark down that license plate? I said,
we're done with trivia.
Yeah,
we don't do trivia anymore.
Logan doesn't do trivia anymore. We don't want to ask that. She goes, aw. And
Boom.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, awesome.
All right, we're at 40 minutes.
Perfect.
Oh, wow, that's
Loving it.
longer than I thought, but I droned on too much about this. This
hear
is
that
wonderful.
often.
This is wonderful. We got to do that
Yeah,
again.
and the monkey is wonderful as well.
Yes,
Definitely, if you
agreed.
haven't seen it,
Good tie-in.
go see it.
All right.
You can drink Hogsworth while watching the monkey.
Depending what place you go to. If you watch it at home, because I think this is streaming now.
Yes.
So you can have your Hogsmeade, not Hogsmeade, sorry.
Isn't that an episode of what's that black
Hogsmeade?
shit?
Hogsmeade is Harry Potter.
You're letting...
Oh.
Harry
Oh,
Hogsworth.
okay. I thought it was
Harry
Hogsworth.
Potter.
This is Hogsworth.
Yeah, that's Hogsworth.
Hogsmeade.
I made a mistake.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
No, what the fuck?
We'll see you on the next episode.
Yep.
Stick around.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Follow us on social media.
Oh, shit.
What did you do?
What happened?
Went down the wrong pipe.
Okay, let's just continue. Ignore him.
Everyone for joining us.
Like-
On another... Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Like-
I would... Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey, follow us on social media. Right here.
I want to do like 5 million takes.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Be sure to follow us on social media.
Feeling good about this one.
What's the matter with that? What's the matter
I
with
said
that one?
feeling good about this one.
What's wrong with that one?
Nothing was
Nothing.
wrong with it.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing for it.
I'm pointing to.
Pointing does nothing. This is a social
but
media.
you
It's
see it on
all-
different lines. And
yes,
so I'm like,
but do you
I'm
know where
pointing-
the lines actually are?
By the way, no one can see you because there's a big logo right
Yeah,
here.
That's
I
the
know. They can
point.
hear me, though.
No,
We
they
did that on
can't.
purpose.
I'm Logan Lynch
We're
over here.
going
Nobody
to
listens.
cut that out.
Who the fuck is Logan Lynch? Who names
Best.
himself?
That sounds like a made-up name
Doesn't
to me.
it though? Amen.